Shabbat Shalom. Don't separate yourself. Oscar Wilde famously said, "I can resist everything except temptation." How do we keep ourselves from sinning? This week we begin reading the book of Vayikra, of Leviticus, which begins with listing many of the sacrifices, including the offerings that one brings as atonement for a sin. Chapter 4, verse 27 says, "V'im nefesh achat techeta bishgaga," if one person among the populace incurs guilt by mistake. Rabbi Shmuel Tzvi of Alexander comments that this verse teaches about how a person comes to sin. He explains that only when something is disconnected from its root or its source is when it can become impure. This is true with any plant or body of water. As long as the plant is still in the ground or the water is still part of its source in a spring or a river, it can never be impure. But once it's harvested or the water is placed in a vessel, it can become impure. So too with people. If we're disconnected, then we can become impure. Which is why the verse states nefesh achat, a single person, a singular person, someone who is alone. When we're not part of a larger community that is striving to do good and that only encourages us to be our best, then we more easily fall victim to temptation or to bad habits. It's not bad to have some time alone, but we should always recognize the benefits of being in a supportive community, especially one that looks out for our interests and supports us in striving to be our best selves. I'm joining 35 TRZ families at Camp Ramah this Shabbat, but if you're not joining us, I hope you come to Shabbat services at TRZ, Friday night at 7:30 p.m., Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Shabbat Shalom.